Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy So, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you're already subscribed, hit that like button, drop a comment on this latest video, which is from episode 112, streaming right now on your favorite platform. In this clip, Joel and I break down how the Heat are struggling and what they can do to find some type of spark for their season. This is a team that could definitely use a win streak though, and they haven't gotten it, and I don't think they're gonna get it or be able to put it together, dog. And that's the Miami Heat.
Okay.
Currently, right now, 7-10 on the season, dog. Like,
rough.
It's just rough right now, you know. And I feel bad for Spo because he's dealing with a lot of injuries, you know, and just not knowing who's even playing tonight.
We played 7 men the other night,
dog. You know what that is, dog?
That's
An NBA
some
team.
AAU shit, dog.
Yes, dog. Oh, shit. I got sick. Oh, you know, Tommy's parents didn't want to pick him up. He missed the bus. Now we only have 7 players. All right. It is what it is. Let's play basketball. But for the Heat, dog, like, this is an NBA team, dog. Like, how are we only going to have 7 guys? And even one of the guys couldn't even really suit up. So we had 8 registered, right? But only 7 suited up because the 8th person was injured that game. But what's funny is that they started off with a 3-game win streak. Right, they had beaten Charlotte back to back at the time of us recording, and then that same night that we were recording the episode, they beat Phoenix that night, 113-112, with Jimmy pulling off a game-winning block on Devin Booker as time expired. They finally won a fourth quarter, it seemed like, right? And versus a good team, especially. They outscored Phoenix 29-21, shot 45% from 3 that night. But it just felt like something was off, dog. And like that night, Jimmy didn't have his greatest offensive game. He was 16 points, 13 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 offensive rebounds. So he did a lot of the dirty work. Bam did blow up offensively. Because obviously
we needed it.
Yeah. And he took advantage of Ayton. More importantly, a bigger guy who's moving a lot slower than he is, that he can take him off the dribble and really shoot some shots. He balled, bro. 30 points, 50% from the field.
That's his first 30-point game of the year.
Yes, sir. 13 rebounds to go along with 4 offensive rebounds, 7 assists.
That's, I mean, maybe not 30. We're not asking
6
for
offensive
30
rebounds, excuse me.
When you're putting up 20 every night, you're going to sprinkle in a couple of 30s. So that's what we want, bro. We want that stat line from Bam. Night in and night out.
The key is the free throws. 12 or 14 from the free throws. That's
Huge.
where your game is at,
Getting
buddy.
to the line.
Get fouled. Get to the rim. Let these guys hit you.
Yes,
and then
man.
go
Take
over there.
them out the game.
But
and
make
get the
them.
backups in there, and then now you can dog those guys.
Correct. And it's just like that game, they were able to pull it off, that win, by the skin of the teeth, right? Literally by the skin of the teeth, because Devin Booker is a great shooter. He probably would have knocked down that shot. We've seen him hit game winners all the time,
Sure.
right? Excuse me. But we pull out that victory, make it 3 wins in a row, and then I'm thinking, okay, we got a tough game versus Toronto, we got a tough game versus Washington, and then we got a good matchup versus Cleveland. I'm thinking we can get 2 out of these games. And we faced that first team in Toronto. I'm thinking Lowry's going to come back with a vengeance and all this stuff. And boom, got smacked up, dog, 112-104. And this was after we gave up a 21 run lead, 21-0 run in the third quarter to kind of just let Toronto pull away from us and just take the rest of the game off.
And again, lost another fourth quarter.
Yep.
That's the how do you go from that in the third? You come out of that locker room so hyped up, you go on a 21-0 run.
Yeah.
And then now you turn around in the fourth quarter. All right, let's just keep the pedal to the metal, and you're gonna let up.
Yeah. It was whack. And I get it. This is like, I guess, where the injury started to really take effect, because Bam missed that game, and our rookie draft pick, Nikola Jovic, he got his second start, I think, of the season. And he did all right, in his 24 minutes. He started off pretty hot, had 8 points or 9 points in the first quarter, but he ended up with the game with 13 points, 3 rebounds, 4 of 8 from the field.
That's what you expect, though, kind of, right?
Yeah, like not a whole lot, which is still good.
Put up Luka numbers, right?
No, of course not. Not like that. Not so early on, but still shows that Spo trusts him enough to say, I can put you in this position and let me see what you can do. And just, again, that was a game, like you pointed out, where we lose the fourth quarter, and it's the same old story with the Heat, right? Where they continue to lose the fourth quarter, continue to lose the third quarter. And regardless, no matter what happens with the team, like, or how we're playing in those first 2 quarters, they never find a way to get that mojo back. right? Where they can at least cut it down. And if you notice, these teams are usually pulling away from us, 112 to 104. That means that by the time those 2 minutes were in, dog, like they felt comfortable enough to be up 12. And it was like, well, no, this guy has 6 fouls. He already fouled out. This Bam's not playing. Bring in the other guys. And it's like, let them close the game out. And then you follow that up with another heartbreaking loss to Washington, because that's the game that you mentioned that we played 7 guys. And we lose that game 107-106 in overtime. And that's
with
just
7 guys.
7 guys, dog.
That's crazy.
That's wild, man. You know how hard it is to really go out there and play that much,
and to take the game to overtime.
And look, we give Kyle Lowry a lot of shit, right, for how he's playing this season, but he manned up that game, dog. He played over 50 minutes. And for a guy who's that old and not playing the best basketball of your life, right, to say it nicely, for you to commit to playing 50 minutes for a team that's struggling and is short-handed, like, says a lot about you as a competitor. At least he ain't disappearing from the moment. He's never backing down. But
I know we've dogged Lowry in the past. Just up until just recently. I'm sure the last couple episodes. We've been displeased with his performance, but it's just a matter of knowing how great he was to what we're getting. And that's the frustration as a Heat fan. But there's no doubt about it that he is definitely putting in the work, leaving it all out there. Sure. Are the results there that we want? Not consistently enough. Right. They're there occasionally. Like in that game, you can argue, he left it all out there. In that game, we just didn't come up with the win. But his work ethic is still going to be there, right? He's still going to be a dog. We're just not getting those results that we want from him. The points. He used to be a 30-point scorer, 25, 26,
easily
27.
a 20-point scorer. And look, you mentioned that he did leave it all on the court.
Now if he gets 18, you're like, oh shit, Lowry got 18. Yeah. Oh, that's kind of what you're expecting now.
Right. And look, that game you mentioned it. He had a triple-double, 24 points, 15 assists, 10 rebounds.
That's the Lowry we thought we were going to get.
And not necessarily triple-double night in, night out, but offensively, with the assist and the points. Yeah. Hey,
18 and 10.
Be in that 18 to 20 range and 9 to 11 rebound assist range.
Assists, correct.
And he hasn't been able to maintain that for us. You know what I mean? Again, another career night for Jovic. He had 18 points, played well offensively, comes into the game, is confident enough in his game where he's like, you know what, give me the rock, I'm going to shoot it. When they do the high pick and roll, he's killing it. Serge has pointed it out to me multiple times where the Heat really like to run that high pick and roll offense whenever they have a chance, whenever he's in the game, because he's so effective at it, and the kid can shoot and he has handles and he can pass. So imagine him not being in that position where you don't do that and say, all right, let me not play this guy just because he's a rookie. No, we need all hands on deck, and we know that this guy can contribute something.
100%, especially right now. Like
especially
you said,
right
all
now.
The injuries, night in and night out. It's like, okay, tonight we're missing Hero. Oh, great. Okay, we got Hero back. Now we're missing Bam. All right. Bam and Hero. Bam and Hero are back, but Jimmy's out.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, dog, we haven't been able to catch a break. 7 and 10, so
yeah.
That's not the start that we were thinking.
No.
At this point, I mean, I'm not saying we thought we were going to be 17-0 by any means, or 15-2, but I thought somewhere more along the lines of the opposite, 10-7.
Yeah.
9 and 8.
Yeah. Yeah. If you flip that, that's probably where you thought they would be more likely, right? 10-7. 2 games over 500, some shit like that.
Yep.
And the guys, like I said in the intro, the guys that we're expecting from, some type of production from aren't producing it. Strus, great guy, great player, has great moments in games here and there, but this game he struggled and from 3. He started off pretty well in the first half, and then he went 0 for 10 from 3 in the second half. When he missed one to kind of like ice the game or win the game in regulation, which that was after Kyle Kuzma went down there to force to hit a 3 to force overtime, and then we had a shot and Strus missed it. I don't know why we run a play to get a guy who's 0 for 9 a look at 3, to go 0 for 10, but whatever, we gave it to him, and just you could tell the offensive that wasn't really even an offensive game, man. Overtime was 3-2. You know what I mean? Like, that's how you lose a game, 3-2. Playing 7 guys is commendable, but at the same time, like, you got to win those games, because then you have another game in a day where you go to Cleveland, and then everybody's tired. You're playing 8 guys, and then you get smoked 113-87. Off rip, no energy in the first quarter. Come out and get outscored in the second quarter, 31-15, and then in the third quarter come out flat and get outscored again. Not the type of game that you can win after exhausting so much energy with 7 guys in an overtime game. You know?
Is it time to panic?
You got to be worried.
I am.
You got to be worried, like really worried, you know, because this is not what we expected, right? We didn't expect the team to be great, but we expected the team to be better, you know? And like I mentioned, Kyle Lowry played 51 minutes that game, had a triple-double, but then in this next game, you know, 2 of 10 from the field, only ended up with 9 points. Nikolai Jovic got a third start. He struggled from the field, 2 of 9, ended up with 7 points. So, like, offensively, it felt like everybody struggled that game. You know what I mean? Everybody struggled, and we barely had a guy over 18 points. And it was not the type of game that we are accustomed to seeing from a Spoelstra team. Like, that game came out, like, started, and it was a wrap from the get-go. You know? It was a wrap.
Well, as we're recording this tonight, you know, we play the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
And with that game, there's 20 games left in 2022 for this season, which we still got a lot of basketball after that.
For sure.
But we're 17 games in. We're 7-10. We got 20 games left in the season. What do you think for these next 20 games? What do you think our record's going to be if we're 7-10 right now? What do you think we're going to be able to do in the next 20?
Man, if I'm hopeful, I'll say that at the worst, it'll be 10-10. At the worst, right? Where we're only 2 games behind 500, 3 games behind 500 with injuries, guys missing players. Now, if everybody comes back and we get a majority of the rotation back, then at that point, I would say I want to see the team go 13-7.
Get us back to 5.
13-7, you know, 12-6. I'll leave 12-8. I'll do, you know, where you're just stay above 500 and really put winning streaks together. It can't be losing streaks of 2 games, 3 games, and then you win 1, lose 1, win, and then lose 3 games in a row. No, it needs to be like, hey, let's win 3, 4, 5 games in a row, and then we'll lose 2 games back to back. If we're on the road or at home, whatever, traveling. But yeah, 20 games left. You gotta go 12 wins, 13 wins off rip. You gotta go. Like, and that's like low ceiling, because even if we said at worst 10 games, like you go 500, 10 games, that's not that many. You know, from 10 to 13, it's 3 wins. For a team that has the guys like we do, those 2-3 wins should be very attainable, and I don't think that they are right now. Or at least logically, it's hard to say, yeah, that he can win this many games because they haven't been able to show it on the court, dog. And you said it. They're playing Minnesota tonight. I don't think did you see if Jimmy got announced into the game or not? Because I know that Tyler Hero was sent home. Jimmy was sent home early on the road trip. I don't know if those guys are playing. Like, yeah, look. No Hero, no Duncan, no UD, no Gabe. Rough. You know? Rough. And the Timberwolves have won 3 out of the last 5 games. You know? Rough. Not going to be easy. Not going to be easy tonight. And, yeah, dog. I really hope that something sparks this Heat team to really put it together and start playing better, dog. Because it's way too talented to not be as good as it could be. You know, I don't need you to be great, right? Like us projecting second, third, whatever. Yeah, those are high, lofty expectations because we want to see the Heat achieve that type of success.
Because we've seen them achieve that success.
Correct. You know?
Recency bias.
With less or whatever, with not better players or whatever. But this is here and now, and we need this team to really start to step up and find a way to win. Find a way to win.